Dirty Angels is an American action thriller that delivers it all. Relentless survival, unflinching terror, and high-stakes secret missions where trust is a luxury and every decision could be your last. The film opens in Afghanistan, 2021. Malik, a cold and menacing figure, returns home from a hotel, his simmering rage evident in every step. Out back, a grim scene awaits. Rows of cages filled with prisoners, watched hungrily by restless dogs. Among the captives are 4 men and a lone woman with chilling authority. Malik orders the girl taken to the center of a crowded market. His command is brutal: stone her to death. Without hesitation, the crowd obeys, rocks striking her as chaos brews. Suddenly, the whirl of helicopter blades cuts through the air. Armed soldiers descend, opening fire to scatter the crowd. They've come for the girl, Jake, one of their own. They lift her aboard, but Malik destroys another chopper in retaliation. As the pilot pulls away, Jake pleads to go back to her fallen team, only to watch helplessly from above as her comrades lie dead below. Her screams echo into the roar of the rotors. The scene shifts to a bustling girls' school, laughter ringing through its courtyard. The peace shatters when armed vehicles storm the gates. Amir, a ruthless militant, leads the assault, attacking teachers and students. In the chaos, several girls are captured, including Badia, the daughter of Afghanistan's Minister of Education and the U.S. Ambassador's daughter. Some girls manage to flee to the rooftop, but escape is short-lived. They're quickly overtaken. The terrorists make their demands: $10 million per hostage and the release of a notorious prisoner, Sheikh Aishamali. After Delta Force's initial rescue attempt ends in failure, the U.S. military shifts strategy. This time, they want someone who can adapt to the terrain, think fast under fire, and lead with precision. Their answer? Jake. Still haunted by the loss of her teammates, Jake accepts the mission, not just as an assignment, but as a personal vow to bring the captives home. She wastes no time assembling a specialized unit, women trained not only in combat, but in the art of infiltration. This team is as diverse in skills as they are in personalities. At a discreet hotel, serving as their staging ground, Jake walks into the briefing room, where each woman introduces herself. Rocky, a mechanic who can repair or improvise any vehicle under pressure. Geek, a brilliant technician. Shooter, a precise weapon specialist. The Bomb, an explosives expert. Medic, and finally, Dr. Mike. After brief introductions, Jake shifts the focus to the operation at hand. Their chosen method of entry into hostile territory, posing as medical personnel on a humanitarian mission. It's a cover that allows them to move through checkpoints while hiding their real intent: to penetrate deep into enemy-controlled areas and extract the hostages. Their first hurdle comes sooner than expected. Reaching the border, they find it closed. With no choice but to wait, they prepare their disguise, filling their truck with legitimate medical supplies to sell the excuse. When the border finally opens, the team receives unexpected assistance from the Afghan Minister of Education herself. Though deeply concerned for her daughter Badia, she is still in her senses, willing to use both diplomacy and force. She discreetly facilitates the team's passage across the border, and even offers a substantial sum to Jake and her crew, intending to also pay ransom for her daughter if needed. To Jake, the offer underscores the stakes. Failure is not an option. Once inside, the team wastes no time. They conduct a series of high-risk operations to weaken enemy capabilities and gather intelligence. One mission takes them to a suspected weapons cache. The raid is swift, calculated, and leaves the terrorists scrambling to replace their lost firepower. But victories come at a cost. During the missions, they sadly lose Dr. Mike and Travis in the chaos of escape. Jake buries the grief beneath discipline, but it lingers in her eyes, a reminder of how thin the line between life and death has become. Worse still, a deeper threat emerges from within their own network. While cross-checking intel, Jake and Geek discover inconsistencies in their safe routes, patterns that point to betrayal. Their suspicion zeroes in on Awena, a local contact who had been feeding them information and arranging guides. Jake confronted her local contact, rage breaking through her controlled exterior. She slammed the woman against the wall, choking her before smashing the butt of her rifle into her head. The informant crumpled to the ground, unconscious. Searching her phone, Jake discovered the truth. She had been feeding intel directly to the ISIS kidnappers. It explained everything: why their first rescue attempt had failed, and why the enemy always seemed one step ahead. Realizing a raid was imminent, Jake quickly ordered her team to hide. Moments later, ISIS fighters stormed the location. From their concealed hiding point, the team watched as Amir arrived, collecting both the ransom money and the imprisoned sheikh. The informant, now conscious, apologized to Amir for failing to deliver the rescue team. She left with him, heading back to his camp. But Jake had planned ahead. Before letting the bag of cash out of her sight, she had hidden a phone inside it, turning Amir's payday into a tracking beacon that would lead them straight to his stronghold. Jake had done her observation well. From stolen glances, overheard whispers, and carefully memorized patrol patterns, she had pinpointed the floor where the hostages were being kept. The plan now was precise, but perilous. Explosives in key choke points, neutralize guards quietly, and create enough chaos for the girls to slip away unnoticed. One by one, her team moved through the den, hiding charges in places that would cripple the facility without killing the captives. Every step was calculated, every placement quick. But their unusual movements began to draw suspicion. The armed guards, brutal and sharp-eyed, began to mutter among themselves. The women working there, including Jake's disguised team, were suddenly ordered to assemble. Amir's enforcers demanded they line up, remove their face coverings, and submit to inspection. Medic, played by Ruby Rose, knew she was moments away from exposure, but instead of fear, there was defiance in her eyes. She had already set a crucial explosive. Her mission was complete. When her cover inevitably broke, she didn't resist. Her presence alone was the spark about to ignite the operation's climax. Then it came. The explosion. A deep, bone-rattling blast tore through the den, plunging everything into chaos. Smoke and screams filled the air, and guards scrambled to respond. Jake seized the moment, turning to Badia, the Afghan minister's daughter. She gave her a single, urgent order: lead the others out. Badia didn't hesitate, guiding her fellow captives into the shadows, down the path Jake had prepared in advance. Outside, two of Jake's women were waiting with the van. They pulled the girls aboard quickly, keeping their eyes on the perimeter for hostiles. Inside the den, however, Jake had unfinished business. She found herself face to face with Amir. He was furious, blade in hand, ready to end her mission right there. The fight was savage, close quarters, all instinct and survival. Finally, Jake wrenched his sword from his grasp and drove it across his throat. Amir collapsed, bleeding out onto the dirt floor. But victory came with sacrifice. Geek, cornered and surrounded, made the decision Jake had feared most. Over comms, her voice was steady. She couldn't make it out. The extraction of the girls had to take priority. She urged Jake to go on without her, fully aware of the cost. Jake hesitated, torn between duty and loyalty, but in the end, she honored Geek's wish. Before leaving, Jake transmitted the coordinates of the facility to the American Air Evacuation Team. Moments later, the rhythmic thump of rotor blades signaled their arrival. The helicopter descended, and the girls were lifted to safety, their ordeal finally over. Jake, however, didn't board, because she knew she wasn't done. Afghanistan still held too many ghosts, too many battles unfinished. She had already lost too much to simply go home and pretend life could return to normal. Shouldering her weapon, she turned back toward the mountains, ready to keep fighting in the shadows, even if no one would ever know her name. But what do you think? Would you take the risks or wait till the odds are in your favor? Let us know in the comments and subscribe to keep more movies like this rolling.